Hey y'all, it's Jessica from Just Give Me Jesus, and today I'm doing a journal with me in my one little word junk journal. Excuse the writing at the top of the screen because I had an issue with that. But anyway, so I took a picture out of a magazine and I'm using matte gel medium on just some brown packing paper. And I coated the packing paper and the picture, the side of the picture that I actually want to come off, and then I scraped it down with that rubber thingy. And I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. That was not the page I'm doing. So I turned to this page. And I decided I didn't like the blank look behind that pocket. So I'm just tearing a sheet of notebook paper to fit in there. And I really like torn edges. So I wanted to leave as much of that torn as I could. But I couldn't leave it all torn because it wouldn't fit. And that's some really wide washi. I don't remember what it is. I think I got it at Tuesday morning one time, but I just kind of felt like it fit right there. And then I add another little piece of washi to kind of break that big black strip up. And this is some vintage wallpaper that I got from Boston Bag Lady on Etsy. She's also on Instagram as BBL Vintage. And some sari silk and just a piece of ribbon from Hobby Lobby. Again with the washi tape. I love the vintage wrapping paper. That's not wrapping paper. I always call it wrapping paper. It's wallpaper, vintage wallpaper. It has such a neat texture to it. And then that's a little die that I cut out on my Cricut. And some shoes I cut off of a girl one time, a Tim Holtz doll. And I just put them in the little frame, and I really liked how that looked, so I stapled it down. And now time to work on the tags. These are printables from Pink Paper Peppermints. I love her printables so very much, and that's what inspired this journal. And I stapled the ribbon wrong, so that was kind of a pain to try and get out. But I got it and stapled it again, but I wanted to cover up those staples because they were bothering me. So after I tapped my fingers for a minute, I got my hole punch and hole punched from some pink paper. Then I got a phone call and got cut off. So I just put those hole punched pieces on the front of that and put a T tag through the hole of the other tag. I love tea bag tags. I think they're super neat and just kind of a neat little accent. And these are some button printables from, not going to be able to remember it, and I don't see it right in front of me. I'll have to link it down below. And then of course my butterfly from Pink Paper Peppermints, that I just adore these butterflies and use them all the time, because as much as I love the tea bag tags, it just needed a little something extra. So I stapled the little butterfly on there. Then I'm going to dry and make sure this is completely dry before I start the next process, because I want it to work, and it will not work if I don't make sure it's completely dry. So I spritzed it with water to make sure it was good and damp, not soaking wet, but damp. And then I just took a baby wipe and rubbed with my finger. And I rubbed hard enough to take off that top layer of paper, but not so hard that it's going to rip a hole through the bag. If you rub too hard, you can take the ink from the magazine off that matte gel medium. But I absolutely love the way these turn out, especially on brown paper. It just makes it kind of look like an old photograph. And those little babies were so cute. So then I took some Lindy Stamp Gang Magicals in Papa Pink and put them on the page and just kind of sprayed them down just to give it a little texture behind what I'm going to collage, or at least in my head, I've got an idea of what I'm going to do at this point. When I start actually collaging, I usually play around with it different ways, and sometimes it takes, these sheets took a good while to dry. So I kind of squished it, and that extra paper in that pocket can get that extra little bit. Again, this took a while to dry. That old music sheets were kind of thick, which is good, but it just took a little while. So now I'm playing around with some different elements. I've got some notebook paper, a tea bag that's a little different. I don't know what it is, but it's not like the normal paper tea bag. And then a little sentiment I had typed up in response to my one little word of audience of one. So I'm playing around with those. And that gold sparkle ribbon is something I got in a Christmas package, and I have used the punk out of it, and I'm almost out. I think I am out now, actually. Nope, there's one little piece on my desk. And I'm playing around with some different things because I decided it needed a little more color on the page. I tend to always go for color. I like color and colorful things. So now I'm just kind of looking to see what pleases my eye. And I thought a little bit up there would look nice. So I glue it down and add literally a thread and the side of a tea bag that sometimes tears off a little easier. I just kind of twisted those around and put them on the corner of that sentiment, that little thank you prayer to God. Put them right there. Then I found a hole punched piece when I dumped out my hole puncher and stuck it in the middle. Tucked my little tags in their pockets. And I decided I didn't like that old tea bag hanging there, or just that portion of it, so I wrapped it with washi and cut it into a flag. And then I got my Illustrated Faith words. They are the basics words, and put them on that tag. I cut apart one that said set free. And one thing I learned is washi does not like stickers. So I stapled them to that tag because I decided they needed to be on there and they were going to stay. So they got stapled. And there are my little pages. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope to do some more soon. And have a fantastic week. Let me know by liking the video.